Hi, I'm Pip, the founder of Technology Triumphs. Now, if you don't know about Technology Triumphs, this is a really good video and place to start. I'm going to just explain how Technology Triumphs come about, what we do, and how we might be able to help your home educated learner achieve qualifications in creative and practical subjects. I'm also going to be showing you an example of one of our workbooks so you can see and get a feel for the content and how that might work for your learner. So Technology Triumphs was set up in 2018. It started as a really small affair. I was helping 5 learners who were home educated try and achieve a qualification in a creative subject. And I realized really quickly that actually this was a really difficult thing to do because of the coursework element. Now, they're probably already aware, if you're looking for creative courses for your home educated learner, that actually it's really tough, if not impossible. And if it is possible, extremely expensive to be able to do this. So this is where it became really important for me to be able to help other home educated learners, not just those that I was working with on a one-to-one basis. So we received approval under an awarding body called NCFE. It was an awarding body that I'd worked with previously in schools. I do come from a teaching background, and I knew and liked their specifications for helping people build creative portfolios, and especially for helping people prepare for further education in creative subjects. So Technology Triumphs got their own approval under NCFE, so we are our own exam centre and not reliant for an external exam centres, which means that everything that we charge includes that into the cost. So you don't or you're not obligated to go and find an exam centre and try and sit an exam. And there is no exam with our qualifications either. It's all portfolio based. I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second. So as I said, it started off with 5 learners, and within a year, I had a parent ask me if I could put the provisions online. Now, working with NCFE, we have found a way to do so. And as far as we're aware, we're the only company that is providing this service for these qualifications. We're now providing the service for learners all around the country, in the UK, but even overseas as well, because of the nature and the way that we've designed our courses. I'm just going to share my screen now to show you a little bit more information. So as you can see, we've got a range of courses now in cookery, mixed media, textiles, and cake decorating. If you want further information on any one of these or all of them, please get in touch, because we've got information packs and we've got ways of getting these to you so that you can delve even deeper into what we cover within those courses. And we have them from entry level right up to level 2 qualifications. So we have them for a range of ages of learners as well. So how do the courses work? Like I said, we've managed to find a way to get these courses online, and you're not reliant on face-to-face tuition. We've built the courses so that we can give you, the adult and the facilitator, all the tools you need to guide your learner through the qualification. When you enroll and book onto one of our courses, you'll receive a login to a learning portal. Now, the learning portal is actually something run by NCFE, so it is built by the exam board themselves. That learning portal will give you access to your entire course. Now, most of our courses run over 11 workbooks, so all 11 workbooks will be available to you as soon as you log on for the first time. This means that you can work through the course at your own pace. Now, as I said earlier, these are entirely portfolio-based, no stressful exam. It doesn't make sense for us for an exam to be on the end of a creative qualification. So no written exams, unlike a lot of DT qualifications in schools nowadays. Everything's portfolio assessed. It takes that pressure off, and it also means there's no end point to the qualification. And what that means is that your learner can complete the course any day of the year. And we have direct claim status on most of our qualifications, which also means we can claim the certificate any day of the year. So hopefully that takes some pressure off and allows for that flexibility as well, because you can work either faster through the course or you can take more time to complete the course. So although it's designed over 11 workbooks, so in line with GCSE 2-year course, you could take 3 years or 4 years if you needed it. Now, how we actually assess your learner and assess the work is through a variety of ways. So as I mentioned, we've got some workbooks. So there is an element of written work, but it's all about assessing knowledge. There is nothing in terms of spelling and grammar being checked. That is not an interest of ours. And what we find is a lot of creative people, myself included, are actually dyslexic. So we didn't want those creative people to be penalised because their brain works a little bit differently. So the specification we've chosen has no bearing on spelling and grammar. So though there is some written work, you're not expected to be writing English essays. So we ask you to complete the tasks in the workbook, and that tests your knowledge. But we also ask you to upload what we call photo galleries. And this is a collection of all your photographic evidence of all your sketchbook work, if it's relevant, and your practical work. Now, occasionally through the course, we asked for a video log, and this was key for enabling us to be able to run these remotely. We have to be able to evidence that the young person is doing the work themselves. And so through occasional video logs, we're able to tick a box to say, yes, we're confident that that young person that we can identify in the video log is doing the work and they have the knowledge that is necessary for that level of the course. Now, if you think that that's going to be a bit of an obstacle for your learner, please don't panic. We know that anxiety can be a big issue for a lot of learners, myself included. I hated doing things like this on video, but we have tricks and ways that we can guide and help you through that process. So don't write this course off on the basis that you know that your learner isn't going to like being videoed. Please get in touch with us. We can send you a document that walks you through some of the techniques that we can use to help your learner still achieve this qualification. So as I said, we've got engaging workbooks, and I will show you what they look like. These are not black and white documents. Because everything's designed to be completed online, we've been able to add loads of colour and graphics and make them way more interesting and engage visual learners. They're not designed to be printed off because it would absolutely muller your ink. So they are designed for you to complete online, not to be printed off. That being said, if you do want to print them off, if you would prefer to fill them in by hand, you can do that. That is up to you. All our tutorials are pre-filmed. So any aspect of the course that we think needs to have a tutorial delivered, you'll find it as a link on the workbook. If you're keen to have a look at those tutorials, you can go onto our YouTube page. Just look for Technology Triumphs on YouTube, because all of our tutorials are open for the public to see and make use of, regardless of whether or not you're a Technology Triumphs learner. So again, you can have a look and see if you like the feel of those tutorials and how they work. You are assigned an assessor at the beginning of the course, and you have support from them online as well. So through the Learning Portal, you have a direct messaging service to your assessor. Now, they might not be available in an on-call sense. They might not be able to respond immediately to your questions, but they will pick up your messages and respond to you, whether it's a technical issue or whether it's something to do with the knowledge or the tasks in the workbook. Their job is to help and guide you through that. We've also got closed Facebook groups. Now, it isn't necessary for you to be on Facebook to still be able to do the course. It's an additional support measure. And basically, these have become really nice communities where our learners or parents join the groups and help each other out and motivate each other as well. And often, if somebody is stuck with a piece of work and they need an answer immediately, they'll post on one of those groups, and other parents and learners are able to help them out as well. We've got a Pinterest page where we pin lots of information and research, and it's great again in terms of visual and being able to help and motivate and inspire learners. And then once every half term, so 6 times in the year, I host a live event on Facebook where we give out prizes and certificates to our learners based on the work that we've seen coming in, that we assess and give written feedback on. But also we invite nominations from facilitators at home, because we recognise that you guys are the ones that see the personal struggles that your learners might be going through, and what might seem a small, insignificant obstacle to have overcome for somebody else actually could be a really big deal to your learner, and we recognise that that needs to be acknowledged as well. So lots going on. Before I talk about how flexible the courses are, I am going to show you an example of one of our workbooks. And this is from our Level 1 Cookery course, which is one of our most popular courses because I guess the life skills involved with that as well. Now, as you can see, each book is kept broken down into 6 sessions. Now, the idea, like I said, is if you were to complete this course over 2 years, you would complete a session a week term time. And although we're given that structure, because we know some learners prefer to have a structure, you're free to work your way through it in any format that you want. You could complete the whole workbook in 1 week if you really wanted to, or equally you can take even longer, maybe do 1 session every fortnight. So as you can see, lots of colour and images. But I think as well, importantly, is the ability for you to be able to click onto the workbook and type straight into it. And you don't need any special software to be able to do this. You just need an Adobe Reader downloaded onto the device you're working from. If you don't have an Adobe Reader, which most people automatically have that on their devices, it's a free download. There's no need to pay for anything extra. So you can see a variety of tasks you're asked to complete, and every now and then a link to a pre-filmed tutorial. You just click on the link and it takes you to our YouTube page, to the tutorial that you need. Now, there aren't necessarily tutorials for every session. It might not be necessary, especially as you work towards the end of part of the course, because you're applying the knowledge and skills you've been developing at the front. So our level 1 course incorporates the recipe book within it. And like I say, lots of tasks to do, developing skills and knowledge as you go. If you want to see an overview as to what we actually cover in each course, again, please get in touch. Our information packs for each course will show you that. So now let's talk about the flexibility and the payments and how they are made. Now, as I said, flexibility is key for us. We know how, and especially myself as a home ed mum now myself, flexibility is key. We have a lot going on. And this is one of the reasons we chose this specification, so we don't have that endpoint exam to be worried about, and so that we can free up your time when you need it. And what I mean by that is if you are committed to other courses and you do have other exams to focus on, with our courses, you can just stop and start. Because you've got all the course there in front of you, it doesn't require you to submit on certain days or certain weeks of the year. You can submit as soon as you're ready. So the flexibility is there and enables you to do that in terms of submission of work. Something I also like to point out, we don't believe in deadlines and we don't believe in anyone falling behind or being late with their submissions. Everyone's working to the pace they need to work. And that flexibility, it was, again, really important for us that it transferred over to the subscription in terms of the payment. So all of our courses are available as subscription plans. In fact, most people by far opt for a subscription plan. Now that you don't pay any more as a total amount by paying as a subscription, it is the same cost regardless. So for our entry level qualifications, it's £20 a month over 12 months. For our level 1 qualifications, it's £20 a month over 24 months. And for level 2, it's £25 a month over 24 months. And maybe the most significant part about this is that we don't tie you into these subscription plans. If your circumstances change for any reason, whether it's financial, your learner's just not engaging with the work, or perhaps you're sending them to a school, any reason at all, you don't even need to give us a justification. We just ask for 3 working days notice and we can cancel the subscription before the next payment is taken. On top of that, we allow you to then re-enroll at any point, and you just pick up from where you left off. You don't start the payment plan again. So if you need to take a break that's temporary for whatever reason, maybe you're going traveling or just maybe finances, you need to free up a little while, then that's also an option for you. There is no minimum age or maximum age for any of our courses. There are guidance ages, and we tend to refer to reading ability in terms of age. We know that different age children are at different levels. So we're not going to determine which level your child should be on based on the year they were born. As their facilitator, you are the best people to judge what you think they are ready for. Now, I mentioned earlier, we've got these Facebook closed groups. Within each of those groups, there are sample sessions of each of the courses. So if you're not sure which level your child is ready for, you can have a look at those sessions and then maybe even try it out with your learner and then gauge it from that. We are here for support if you do want to ask further questions, but it's up to you, in effect, which course and which level you put your learner on. Now, what I will say is if you put your learner onto a level 2 course, for example, and as I'm assessing your work, I start to feel like the learner's perhaps struggling to achieve the right level, and perhaps this has been going on for a couple of workbooks, I will suggest maybe we can transfer over to a level 1. You'll obviously have the option to keep going with the level 2 because you've got no deadline on when you need to complete. It might just be that your learner takes longer to get through the content. But I would give you that advice if I felt it was necessary. And that being the case, all the money you've paid towards the level 2 and the work you've done would count towards the level 1. Now, what happens more regularly is the other way around. So someone might be booked onto a level 1 course. And as I'm assessing the work, I start to think, actually, this is a level 2 standard. Now, rather than make you work your way through the level 1 course, then onto the level 2, I will let you know if I think that's the case. And I would suggest that you move over to the level 2 course, 1, to save you time, but 2, to save you money as well. So just to reiterate, there is no obligation for you to have completed a level 1 course or an entry level before you do a level 2 course. You can jump straight to a level 2 and miss that out if you think your learner's ready. Now, what's the main differences between the level 1 or 2 courses? There's a few different reasons, differences between the courses. So the first one is the time you dedicate to it. It's roughly double the amount of work for the level 2. So if you were completing over 2 years, a level 1 course, you'd probably want to spend 1.5 to 2 hours per week term time completing it. And for the level 2, you double that, so 3 to 4 hours over 2 years. The difference in terms of written content, the level 2 does require more in-depth answers. So you'll need to give more justifications and explanations. So if you've got a reluctant writer, level 2 might be trickier for them. The other main difference is that level 2 has a whole unit that we refer to as the business enterprise unit. And it's exploring job opportunities and business enterprises and marketing techniques, starting to look at how you could apply your skills to actually earn a living out of your chosen craft. Now, on top of the level 1 or 2, we've also got the entry-level qualifications. Now, these might be better for younger learners or very reluctant writers. So the entry-level qualifications really focus on making something, crafting something, and there's very minimal written work. So if you have a learner that is struggling to engage with anything in terms of formal learning, an entry-level might be a good one to start with. What happens next after you've got your qualification? So obviously, if you've done the entry level, the natural progression might be to go into the level 1, or it might be to jump that and go on to the level 2. If you've done the level 1, it would make sense to go on to the level 2. Now, all of our learners that are coming back to us, having completed their level 2, the feedback we are receiving from parents and the research we have done as well is showing that the level 2 qualifications are helping home educating learners jump straight into level 3 courses at college. So whilst we can't say these are equivalent to GCSEs, from the feedback we are getting, it is aiding learners jumping straight into a level 3 course rather than having to do a level 2 course at college before they can move on to a level 3. So that might be an option for your learner. Now, as our cookery courses are our most popular, I needed to just add in here, if you have any dietary needs, this does not eliminate you from our courses. So all of the recipes we provide are just guidance recipes. You can opt to change the recipes, you can alter them, you can change them for something else. So we have an increasing number of vegans and vegetarians and other people with, for example, celiac disease, all be able to work through their course and still get their qualification by adjusting the recipes as they go along. Right, ways you can contact us. I realise this is a lot of information now. So if you need to get a hold of me direct, Pip, the best way is via email. So email is technologytriumphs@outlook.com. Please come and ask me any questions you have. Perhaps you just want me to email you an information pack. I'm more than happy to do that. You've got the Facebook closed groups that you can go and have a look at the file section. Feel free as well to ask other parents and learners questions on there. Ask for their feedback on the course. They're the best people to be able to give you that information. And if you want to book, the booking system we use is called Class for Kids. So if you Google Class for Kids and then look for Technology Triumphs, once you're on there, you'll find all of our qualifications up there. We enroll for 3 points in the year. So we start in September, January and April. Now, after all that, if you've decided that actually these courses aren't affordable for you, and I understand that can be the case for a lot of families, what I also want to highlight is that we've been funding some courses as well. So at the moment, we have a maths and literacy course that is available on our Facebook page as live sessions that we have saved on there for people to come back to. So if you're interested in those, again, please get in touch. I can send you the links to those. We want to be able to help home educated learners in whatever way we can. We also, at 3 points in the year, run a creativity and mental well-being course through our Facebook page, but it is available as a fillable PDF workbook. If you're not on Facebook, you can still have access to that course. So again, if you want the details of that, please get in touch. I'm only too happy to help. Again, if you've got any other questions, please feel free to ask.